Hello, everybody. How are y'all? I hope you all are doing okay. So, in the video that I created about Hillsong, one of you requested that I watch a um, a minister from Hillsong. Okay, and thank you for that. I appreciate you making that comment. And I said that I would. I said I'd do it this week, and I did. So I watched. Um, Pain and what to do with it. Okay, so the pastor's name is Phil Dooley, and he's in Australia. Okay, and this was online. I found it on YouTube. He uh, he made this sermon on April 2nd, 2022. Okay, so it was about 40 something minutes of it. Okay, that I watched, and it was good. It was good. That was the first time I've ever seen him speak. Okay. He seemed really passionate about what he was talking about. He was engaging, and it was interesting. It was an interesting talk. So what I'm going to do, this is how I'm going to do this. I have some notes about what he said. Okay, so I'm going to review what he said. Then I'm going to give you my some questions that I had. Okay, and some research that I did regarding what he said. Then I'm going to come back to what he said, and I'm going to substitute a word, okay, for pain. I'm going to replace the word pain with another word, okay? And you're going to see why and how I came to do that, okay? All right, so pain and what to do with it. Now, I chose this one because the title is interesting, okay? It's very interesting because, pain is something that we all are familiar with. Like, we know about that. So, which is how he started. Okay. He started talking about um, physical pain. Like, and he gave an example of his wife giving birth. And when we exercise, okay, we have physical pain. He talked about how some people enjoy pain. And there's a game apparently called pain poker. Okay. Where I don't know. I've never heard of that. I just know what it's called, okay? And he talks about those folks who jump in cold water every year. That must be really, painful and cold. Um, he said that we go through pain for some kind of purpose, okay? For example, to get healthy. And he quoted First John with that. I like this. He said that having honest conversations go with getting healthy. I think that is true. I like that. So then he began talking about Paul. He said Paul writes about real pain and what to do with it. Okay, and he got more into Paul. He began to talk about Paul's. Now, this is Paul in the Bible. Okay, for those of you who don't know. Okay, he began to describe Paul's specialness, I guess you can say, because he talked about how God spoke to him so that Paul could relate that message to others. He talked about Paul's encounter with Jesus and the revelation he got. He talked about how Paul could come across as a little bit superior because he knows things that you and I, or he knew things that you and I, would not have known at that time because of his close relationship with God. It was very unique, and everybody didn't have that. Okay, but he said instead of Paul being braggadocious, about his relationship with God, he said Paul was very real and honest. And he actually said, that Paul, in so many words, said, I have issues too, okay, that I need to deal with. And he quoted something from Second Corinthians, something like, to keep me from being conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh. Now I remember going to church as a little girl, all throughout my life, when I was a Christian. that thorn in Paul's flesh. Okay. And it was always a question, like, what is that? Like, what was that? Okay. But so he talked about that a little bit. He said that real power comes from acknowledging pain and Paul's preference was to identify with pain rather than power, which was very interesting to me. It's either pain or power, okay? And by power, he meant like the power that was displayed by elite priests and, Sadducees and Pharisees and all them folks back then, okay? He said he would rather identify with the pain than with that. He asked the question, are we prepared to acknowledge our thorns? He said, through pain, we learn more about God and about ourselves. He said, I can find freedom even though I still have pain. Find freedom. I put a little box around that because that suggests imprisonment. If you're looking to, are you lost freedom? Okay. I can find freedom even though I still have pain, which also suggests that it's only when you're not in pain that you're free. And free from what? I don't know. Pain, maybe? I'm not sure. He talks about losing his loved ones and the pain he felt. All right. He said, as you journey through life, there is pain, and we have to decide what we're going to do about it. So he had some themes that I'm going to pull out here, okay, or some, I don't know, not themes, what do you call them? Sayings, I guess, okay. Faith in God does not guarantee a pain-free existence. And he quoted something in John 16:33. He said there are various kinds of suffering. Now, this is the first time he mentioned suffering, okay, which is not necessarily synonymous with pain, because it's possible to suffer and not be in any physical pain at all, okay? And vice versa. It's possible to be in pain, but not suffer. And we're going to get to that. He said, some pain is self-inflicted. Here's another one. Central to our faith is the cross of Jesus. This is an image of pain and suffering, he said. Okay, this is an image of pain and suffering. If we revisit, okay, I'll do that one later. Let me see. Okay. He said, some pain doesn't go away, but it doesn't have to control you. Some pain doesn't go away, but it doesn't have to control you, which suggests, again, that pain can control you. Okay, we're going to get into that too. He says we often hide our pain or deny it, even to ourselves, because we don't want to show vulnerability. He said speaking honestly and vulnerably about our pain is a big step towards the ultimate goal of healing and wholeness. And he said having the courage to confront your pain will ultimately bring freedom. Now here's that word freedom again. And again, my question is, freedom from what? Okay. He said honesty is about healing, and I really like that. I like that a lot. So let me tell you, okay, so this is what I have for him and for what he said. And I'm going to come back to these. I'm going to come back to these after I tell you some stuff over here. All right, so let's go over some truisms about pain, okay? And these are going to be familiar to you if you've ever experienced pain at all, okay? So what do we think about when we think about pain? So something that feels bad, okay? Typically feels bad. Now I can only speak for myself because I can't experience somebody else's pain or suffering, okay? So I'm assuming, because I cannot know for sure, that you all experience something similar to what I do, okay? Pain, it feels bad, it hurts. You might say it hurts. It's noticeable. Isn't it noticeable when you're when you're in pain? It's a trigger that something is wrong or something is up. Something's going on here, okay? And there are degrees of pain. Some of us have a much higher threshold than others do. Another one, pain is a sensation. Can we agree on that? It's a sensation. Seeing is a sensation. Hearing is a sensation. Taste is a sensation. You know, pain is a sensation. Okay. It's temporary. I mean, it has to be, or you wouldn't even know what it was. Okay. Pain is temporary. There is a cause of pain. Okay. You bumped your toe on the bed. You know, you put your hand on the stove. You got in a fight with somebody. You know, your wife left you. Your husband left you. You know, there's a cause. Pain is a symptom. Pain is a symptom, just like if you're coughing, that's a symptom of something. Okay, so what's something's going on, all right? If you have a fever, you have a headache, you feel fatigued, you're nauseous, okay, it's a symptom, just like these other things, right? And what is the function of a symptom? Okay, what is a symptom for? Okay, to either point to or alert you to an underlying cause. It's like that saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay, where there's a symptom, something else is going on. Okay, so that's the function of a symptom, right? To alert you to some underlying cause. Okay. Okay, so pain is a symptom of an underlying condition or cause. Okay, do you see how I got there? Pain is a symptom because we said pain is a sensation. Okay, it's a symptom, just like coughing, a fever, you know, whatever. And all symptoms tell you that something else underlying is going on. Okay, they alert you to that thing, right? And the function of a symptom, or the function of pain, all right, is to point to an underlying cause, right? So pain is a symptom of an underlying condition or cause. Now, the cause can be physical. It absolutely can be physical, but it doesn't have to be, because stress, you know, things like stress can cause physical symptoms, right? It can cause physical pain. Now, let me ask you this, okay? The title of his talk was Pain and What to Do with It. Okay. Consider this. If you have no pain, does that mean you have no cause? Okay. So again, pain is a symptom of an underlying cause or condition, okay? But if you're asymptomatic, right? Meaning you ain't got no symptoms, or something's going on, but you have no idea, okay, because you don't have any symptoms to alert you to the fact that, hey, something's going on here. So if you have no pain, does that mean you have no cause? That's just a question, okay? Is it necessary for there to be pain? Now, we said pain is a symptom, okay? And a symptom is letting you know, hey, something's going on here, all right? Pain is a symptom of an underlying, there's an underlying cause here. And pain is telling you that, right? Well, is it safe to say that pain is an effect? You have a cause, and pain is the effect. Okay. Let's say you got a real bad stomach ache, really bad. Okay. Now that's alerting you. So I think it was like last year or something. I had food poisoning. Okay. And how did I know I had food poisoning? My stomach, oh my God. You've never had a stomach ache until you've had a stomach ache due to food poisoning. Okay. The cause was, the bacteria and all that stuff, in the bad food, so my stomach started hurting. I had to go to the doctor. They had to give me stuff, all kind of stuff. Okay. All kind of stuff. So the cause was the bad food I ate and whatever the heck it did in my stomach. The effect was the worst stomach ache ever. Okay. So pain is an effect. So what is an effect? Let's get down to the lowest denominator, the lowest you can go. Okay. And I'm still able to talk to you. All right. What if pain is an effect? What is an effect? An effect, very simply, is a change. That's it. An effect is a change, isn't it? Something was a certain way, then there was a change. Something's a certain way, and there's a change. Okay. It's an effect. Okay. So I hope y'all are following me on this. Now, in several of these videos, I said that the purpose of time is to discover that time is not necessary. That's it. The purpose of time is to discover that time is not necessary. Okay. So, because it does not take time, and it doesn't take, you don't need to change in order to be who you are. It takes no time for that. And you ain't got to change for that. Okay. Change is not necessary either, which means pain is not necessary. Okay. Now let's go back to what he said. The word I'm going to substitute for pain is change. Now, I told somebody that today, and he was like, because we simple stuff is too simple. We got to complicate it. We got to storify it. We got to, pack a whole bunch of stuff onto it, put our feelings in it, bring the history back. You know what I mean? We want to do all that. Okay. But it ain't, it ain't that serious. Pain is change. Pain is an effect. Okay. Everywhere you see change, you see an effect. Okay. And you see what I get. If you want to call it pain, you can call it that, but that's what it. Now let's go back to what he was saying, and I'm gonna show you how this fits into what he was saying in his sermon. Pain and what to do with it. Change and what to do with it. Okay, we're gonna redo it. Now here's some things I'm gonna substitute the word. Okay. Real power comes from acknowledging change. Okay. He said pain, I'm saying change. Through change, we learn more about God and about ourselves. Okay. Now, pain, the way he describes it and the way we tend to experience it is something that is undesirable. Like we'd rather not have it. Okay, we'd rather not go through it. Okay. And can change be seen the same way? Okay, let's keep going. Here's something else he said, but I'm going to substitute the word change. I can find freedom even though I still change. Here's another one. As you journey through life, there is change, and we have to decide what we are going to do about it. Here's another one. Faith in God does not guarantee a change-free existence. Do you see that? Now, I really got that because in Christianity, at least for me and the way that I grew up and was taught and all that, the thing that was most valued was the thing that did not change. Okay. We always talk, like we sang about rocks, rock of ages, and, you know, things being permanent and unchanged, and God never changes his mind. Change is like a bad word. Okay. The way that I grew up, you know, in Christianity, it's like change is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Okay. So substituting the word change here, where he has pain, faith in God does not guarantee a change-free existence. In another video, the video I have on here is called, I think I called it Heaven and Hell, or What is Heaven, or something like that. But what I've discovered is that what heaven actually is when I no longer have to decide. When I no longer have to choose, I'm in heaven. When I no longer have to decide. The original title of Fire in God was The Freedom of No Choice. That's what it was called. That's what I was going to title it, The Freedom of No Choice. Okay, because I saw that, hey, all my problems, all of them, every single one was due to the fact that I made a choice. Okay. All of them. Either I made a choice or somebody else made a choice. Okay. Choosing, you know, which takes me from one state to the other. Isn't that what decisions do? Decisions change things. Okay. So in my interpretation, like that's hell. Me having to keep making damn decisions and not knowing what's going to occur, even if the decision is something that turns out to be, you know, wonderful. Trust, you're gonna make a mistake somewhere. All them decisions ain't gonna be wonderful, I promise. Okay. You know, and the root of all evil is decision making. Okay. So let me see what else I got here. He said there are various kinds of suffering, and some pain is self-inflicted. Now, if I put change in there, there are various kinds of change, and some change is self-inflicted. Okay, and we're going to get to suffering. Okay, we're going to get to it right now. So another thing he said here, central to our faith is the cross of Jesus. This is an image of pain and suffering. So consider this. Central to our faith is the cross of Jesus. Jesus on the cross is an image of change. Now, let me tell you something. Let me show you this. I saw this video. Let me share my screen with you. I saw this video like 2 years ago, and it fascinated the hell out of me. Okay. Now, this is just the picture. I couldn't find the video, but I do have the picture here. Look at this right here. Let me share my screen, child. Show you what I'm talking about. I hope it's not too gross for you to look at, but okay, look at that. This is a lioness, okay, who was attacked well, she attacked it and it attacked back a buffalo, I think it was. Look at her leg. The video showed her walking. She was walking around like it was just any old day. She wasn't hollering. She wasn't rolling around on the ground. I mean, she was just walking like it was a Thursday. Okay. Here she go. I don't see no pain on her face. Her face ain't scrunched up, but now I'm sure, look at that. I'm assuming, her body, works kind of like, other animals, and there's pain sensors and all that other stuff. But so I'm sure there's some kind of pain there, but just watching her just strolling, with this horrible injury. Imagine if that was one of us, child. Which gets me to the suffering. Suffering and pain are two different things. Okay. You can't have one without the other in both cases. Suffering is all about what's in your head. You don't have to have any pain. If you take an inventory of your body right now, from head to toe, just take an inventory of your body right now to see if there's any pain anywhere. Okay. I don't feel any. I could be as pain-free can be, and just full of suffering. I told y'all about it on here. Remember when I told y'all that that I was going through my divorce and all that stuff, and I said I was outside, it was a beautiful day. I mean, fall day, it was blue with the leaves, all that, I was okay. Like there was nothing hurting, here. But that was some of the worst. I remember that day because I was suffering so bad that day, because I had so much stuff going on. I had so many stories going on in my head about my worthiness and who I was and who I wasn't and what I was going to do. And I'm a bad mom and just suffering. I couldn't even see colors almost because I was suffering so bad. And it was all uphill. Okay. You don't, suffering and pain are not the same thing. So he says here, central to our faith is in the cross, our faith in the cross of Jesus. This is an image of change. It's an image of pain. Okay, let me before I get into that, let me go here. Some pain doesn't go away, he said, but it doesn't have to control you. Now let me put change. Some change doesn't go away, but it doesn't have to control you. Okay. We often hide our change or deny it, even to ourselves, because we don't want to show vulnerability. If stuff is supposed to be permanent and you around here changing all over the place, doesn't that mean you're weak? You can't stay the same. Like, what's wrong with you? Today it is, tomorrow you're that, next week you're gonna be, can't you stay still? What the hell are you today? Okay. Change seems to be a sign that you can't keep it together. No wonder you in pieces. You can't stay whole. You keep changing. Speaking honestly and vulnerably, he said, about our pain is a big step. Again, speaking honorably about our change is a big step toward the ultimate goal of healing and wholeness. Speaking about your inability to keep it together, okay? Your change is a big step toward the ultimate goal of healing and wholeness. He said, having the courage to confront your pain will ultimately bring freedom. So if I change the word, having the courage to confront your change will ultimately bring freedom. This is the second time he mentioned freedom in this sermon, which suggests, so he says again, having the courage to confront will bring you freedom, but freedom from what? Freedom from what? When I substitute the word change in here, having the courage to confront your change will ultimately bring freedom. Freedom from changing, because we feel like it's a prison. We feel like it's a prison. I wrote a blog post that I can't find to save my life, child. It was called The Purpose Prison Life, is what I called it. The Purpose Prison Life. And it was a play on the purpose-driven life, okay? Ultimately bring freedom. Apparently, we feel like we're imprisoned, okay? And all day long, we do everything we can to escape. Everything we can to escape. Instead of questioning the belief that we're actually imprisoned. Like, is that true? Are we really in prison? Because if you're not, you look ridiculous. Trying to escape something you ain't even in. You know, we need to ask more questions, y'all. And we need to ask more questions. All right, so honesty is about healing. I like that. I really do like that, because at least for me, when I was able to be honest, because I thought, I like that was all I had left. Okay, I had nothing left. That was it. All I had was honesty. Well, what that did, or what it does, when you're honest with yourself, ain't nobody else got to be a part of this. Okay. When Cheryl was honest with Cheryl, that helped me see more clearly, you know. And it's not that. So healing, if you look at the etymology and the definition, all that stuff, you know, it means to be whole, right? It means to make whole. To heal is to make whole. Well, when you're honest, okay, nothing is being made whole, okay, because it's already there. What's happening is you're seeing that, you know, I saw what I was working overtime to ignore. Okay. Like someone said, you cannot wake somebody who's pretending to be asleep. That's impossible. That'll never happen. You cannot wake somebody up who's pretending to be asleep. I was pretending to be asleep. Okay. And being honest showed me what I was doing. Okay. That's what happened. It showed me exactly what I was doing, pretending to be asleep. And the more honest I am with me, okay. For instance, when I say honest, let me tell you what I'm talking about. When I look at, when I did this little exercise with pain, and I saw pain is, you know, it's an effect. I mean, it's change. That's what it is, it's change. You know, stuff like that is not easy to say. It's not easy to see. It's, you know, because what I don't want it to be that simple. It can't just be change. I mean, come on now. It can't. No, it can't be that simple. Okay, we got to dress it up a little bit. Okay, because pain, you know, and I bring up all the stuff, you know, all the stories, I mean, everything that could go into one of these Netflix movies, right? You know what I mean? But everything you look, it's change. It's change. Stuff is changing. Well, let me so on my I used to have it on this one, but I don't anymore because I changed it, right? I said God is real. God is real. But belief in God is not. And I say the same thing about change. Change is real, But belief in change is not. Okay? Belief in change ain't real. Let me see, how can I? When I was honest, you know, I remembered. Now, when I say remember, I mean as opposed to dismember. Okay. When I believe stuff, okay, and I storify and I in the other review that we talked about, damn it, I can never remember the name of that book. The one with the gorilla. What's the name of that book? I don't know, y'all. In the review I did Ishmael. That was it, Ishmael or something like that. No, that was the name of the gorilla, Ishmael. But the book was called something, where the guy was talking about the Garden of Eden. Y'all remember that, right? Where and I said that when we believe, like two things happen at once. When you believe something, you also forget. Like belief and forget go together. Okay. The second you believe, you forget. Okay. When I started to be honest, what happened was in the forgetting, you dismember the whole. Okay. Because now when I believe I'm Cheryl, I have to pull Cheryl out of the big picture. Now I got to have a background. Okay. If I'm going to believe Cheryl, that means I got to believe all this stuff behind me, in order for this to be, what it is. So I dismember when I believe things. Okay. And I forget. Okay. I forget what I did. Okay. But when I start to be honest with myself, okay, now I don't, it's not like the stuff is actually broken and I'm putting it back together. No, I'm recognizing what I did. And in recognizing what I've been doing, okay, I see more and more of the whole. Okay, I see more and more of the whole. So this, I thank you. I forgot your name. Who asked me to do this? But I'm glad you did, because I like this. He's a cool dude. I'm gonna put the link to the whole sermon that he did. I'm gonna put that in my video in case anyone wants to go look at it. And so this was great. I was really happy to do this. And this is not about discounting anything he said, okay, or saying don't believe what he said. That's got nothing to do with me, okay? You're not right or wrong for it. Just like everything I've said here, it's not right or wrong, okay? I'm telling a story just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's not a more holy story. It's not a more correct story. It's not more wrong than this story over here. It's a story, okay, and that's what it is. But what I can tell you, okay, is that change seems to, let me show you this one other thing here while I explain this before I get off of here. Where is it? Okay, so have y'all heard of fractals? I meant to look up the definition. I know what it is, but I don't know what the definition of a fractal is. Let's see here. Give me a minute now. Let me find this definition. Fractal. A fractal is an object or quantity that displays self-similarity in a somewhat technical sense on all scales. So it's a thing it's like the same that goes over and over and over again. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. And when I show you this, I want you to think about what seems to have happened is that I made a choice which produced a change. Okay. Then I made another choice, which produced another change. Then I made another choice, which produced another change. So it seems like the more choices I made, the more I changed, the further away I got from the original, from the source. Okay, that's what it seems like. Every time I pick the chicken or the fish, I have gotten even further away. Every time I choose my tennis shoes over my dress shoes, okay? Every time I pick this dude to marry instead of that one. Every time I choose Crest instead of AIM to brush my teeth, I'm getting further and further and further and further and you know, that's what it seemed to be. You know, so I don't know who, you know, I've completely lost myself. I'm lost. So now I feel like I need time. I need time to get back to where I was. Okay. Because this here, all these decisions that I've been making and all or whatever I've created here, this shit is for the birds. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I want to get the hell up out of here. Okay, whatever this is. All right. That's why I don't like change. I don't like change. I don't want to make another decision. I won't do none of that. Okay. I won't do none of it. It's hard. It's too hard. Okay. I don't want to do it. So the belief that change, okay, is you know, has produced all of these horrible things. I mean, there's beautiful things too, but shoot, you know, I just want to go back to where I came from. It's the whole prodigal son story, right? And I need time for that. Don't I? Don't I need time to get back? No. It's like I said at the beginning. The source is like right here. Like, you know, like right here. Okay, it hasn't gone anywhere. You haven't gone anywhere. You know, it's possible. So what I had to see was it's possible for me to change and be the same at the same time. There are not two things here. Okay, it's possible for me to be the same, unchanging, and to change. When I did the interview with Rick Archer, right? I said when I saw that I could not change, I could not make a choice out of what? A choice for what? I couldn't change. I couldn't choose. I couldn't do none of that. When I finally saw that, then I felt free to be able to make choices, to be able to change. Okay, because before, right, when I thought that the whole part was missing, it was just me out here in pieces, you know, trying to put stuff together, you know, because this didn't fit and that, you know what I mean? So let me make another decision to fix that decision, you know, but making that other decision just got me further away from where I wanted to be. You know, it was child was a mess, a whole mess. Okay. Let me show you this thing before I get up off here. Here, let me see. That's a fractal, right? Look at all them changes, child. Yeah. But the thing is, I ain't going nowhere. Yes, I'm making decisions. I'm making choices. I'm changing. I'm getting older. I'm getting taller. I'm getting fatter. I'm getting, you know, my leg hurt. I can tell when the rain coming now because you know what I'm saying? I got a different boyfriend. I had another child. I got a different job. You know, I'm homeless now. I'm in a house. All that is happening. Yes. Okay. Yes. But number one, I don't have to believe it. And number two, it's not changing me. Okay. It's not changing. I'm still who I am. Okay. All right. Pain and what to do with it. Not a damn thing. Change and what to do with it. If you're going to do anything, if you're going to do anything at all, anything, just question it. That's it. Just question it. You ain't got to Google an answer. You ain't got to go to your psychic and ask them what, I mean, you can if you want to, but just ask the question. Okay, whatever question you want to. Ask questions that already have solid answers. Okay. Like stuff that you know. I mean, absolutely 100% know for a fact. Ask the question. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. And I will see you back here next time. Okay. Bye.